Go.
Can you say
it?
Yeah. Yay! Hello, welcome to Fairfield Center Couch. I am Artistic Director at Fairfield Center Stage, Christy Newsom.
Showing off your new swag.
That's right. Our Fairfield Center Couch hoodies are in.
I am Eli Newsom, Executive Producer. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have a very special episode in that we're welcoming a handful of our dear and respected colleagues from the local theater community, which is a very robust theater community here in Fairfield County. This is just a small sampling of, probably well over 50 theaters, I would say, statewide. Lou will probably know the exact number.
Yes.
But we're grateful that we have a small group of colleagues that we dearly respect, and we're going to chat with them about their organizations and their challenges and things that keep them going during this difficult time.
Yes. Before we bring everybody in, I do want to say a shout out to Karen at Little Shop of Broadway, who designed our hoodies and designs most of our swag. Yes, you can order your Fairfield Center Couch hoodies, shirts, pillowcases, luggage tags, and many other things at this website right here. She has a lot of amazing things. Her new product is Rocky Horror face masks, and $2 from every purchase of that face mask will be donated to Fairfield Center Stage as a nonprofit theater. So we're so grateful to Karen. She has amazing things on her website. Lord knows, you need a way to spend that stimulus money. So go to the website.
And a lot of it has glitter on it.
Yes.
That won't come out in them.
No, it's amazing. She has special wash instructions. My glitter hoodies have stayed vibrant throughout their days.
Thank you, Karen.
Yay, Karen. So we want to bring everybody in to our party line. Let us welcome Carol Frawley, producer and music director of Fairfield Teen Theatre. We have Bert Bernardi and Jimmy Johnsmeyer, co-producers of Pantochino. We have Kevin Connors, who is the executive artistic director and co-founder of Connecticut. Also representing his other co-founder, Jim Schilling. And we have Lou Urstone, producing artistic director of Curtain Call.
Welcome, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Before we chat with you individually, I just want to take a moment to thank all of you collectively for the influence you've had on what is it's a large theater community, but it feels very small in that we're all very much connected. So I want to thank you all, both as a fellow theater company representative, but also personally as a theater artist. You've all had an influence on me individually. Certainly Carol, our 7 years together at Fairfield Teen Theatre. Just incredible and wonderful and magical time for me. Lou, I'll talk about your influence on me in a little bit. But Kevin and Bert and Jimmy, even though we haven't directly worked with each other, you have had an indirect influence on me in a positive way. Bert and Jimmy paving the way before our time and during our time in Bridgeport, and Kevin just having a nice, positive influence on the theater community in Fairfield County, and you're somebody I really admire when I come to see your shows there at MTC, and I just want to thank everybody collectively before we start minimizing window.
And it's also cool that everyone kind
Thanks
of
for having us.
facet of theaters. Carol with predominantly educational theater, and then Bert and Jimmy with professional children's theater, Kevin with a professional regional equity house, and Lou with the only year-round producing theater in Stamford and basically anywhere. He produces here.
I think that's a good point. All of us here collectively, our organizations represent, I did just a rough count, every single year, every single season, we're producing over 50 productions every year. And that's not saying number of performances, that's actual productions. Then you say number of performances, probably nearly 1,000, and then certainly tens of thousands of audience members. So Again, thank you all for being here and being such a integral part of the arts community in this very robust county that we have here in Fairfield.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yay.
Thanks for having us.
Well, let's get started with Bert and Jimmy.
Hey there.
Hey, we're so used to. I'm so used to like Google Classroom where you're only supposed to speak when your mic is off. So that's why we weren't saying much in the beginning. We're like, oh, we have to not speak.
Oh,
So
God.
cheers to both of you.
Yes, cheers.
Well,
Thank you for having us.
and you're hosting your own show. Could you tell us a little bit about Pantochino in general? I assume most people watching will know about you, but maybe some people won't. And also talk a little bit about this broadcast that you actually have coming up later this evening.
Yeah. We're in the beginning of our 10th year of existence. We start our 10th season in the fall.
That's amazing.
What makes us a little different than most is that we do all original musical theater productions. We write them right here in mostly, maybe some even in this room that we're in right now. My composing partner Justin Rugg also lives in the house. He's upstairs right now, hopefully watching, and maybe he'll comment. Maybe. So we do 3 original musicals a year. We have summer theater camps. In summer, we do 2 teen theater productions each year. We work with the Milford Arts Council, and we co-produce a series called Night Spot Nights, where we bring New York-style cabaret acts in. And so we have an in-school program where we go into schools all around Connecticut, and we do, and it's a 10-week program where we put on a musical with the kids.
Wow.
I think we estimate that we work face to face with over 1,000 young people every year.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
No doubt that's been, I imagine that's been really challenging. Just not seeing that number of people physically. I know for me, that's been the number one thing, is just not having that physical connection, going to rehearsals to see everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. We tried to do, we definitely had some of our in-school programs. We tried to do Zoom sort of sessions with them. You know, it's
hard.
It's tough. It's tough, but the kids really appreciate it. And even though they're not together, they see each other. And, we just celebrate that when we're in those situations.
It made us laugh. The first Zoom rehearsal we had with this one school in Milford that we worked with for many years now. It was more about the kids saying hello to each other. Yeah. So it's more like a Google Meet for them. And I don't know, it made me kind of melancholy at the idea of like these kids that was their first time of seeing each other. So, going forward I think for all of us in the arts and knowing how important this is for for so many kids, it makes me a little sad, I don't know, school-wise at least. Hopefully camp-wise, we're looking down the barrel of a different gun, which is good.
Well, we had some really positive news through the state and the Department of Early Education, and their protocols are now starting to be revealed.
We're looking at that for our camps too.
Yeah. And I think it's doable. It'll be different, but I think it's doable. And look, we can't wait to be face to face with kids again. And even today, I think I had 3 emails from parents saying, "Are we still going to have camp, or is it too late to register for camp?" So that's all positive. That's all really good.
For people like us, for both us and yourself, it's important that everyone knows that there are still live camps going on. It's not all virtual. You don't still have to have your child at home with the distance learning and everything else. I'm sure like people who have older children, we don't have any except ourselves. I teach in Hartford, and I know I teach costume design at Performing Arts School, and I know with those kids, they've logged out. Like when Lamont said that there's no more, the school buildings are no longer open, but school will continue until the 11th. They've logged out. So I feel like that this camp that we offer, I'm sure many other places Kevin does, really means a lot to people and families and the kids themselves. I know my sister feels the same way. She said, my kids are devastated. They're not going to be back with other kids, and making those bonds. But
Beautifully said. You know, your optimism is really oozing through the screen. What's been helping you, sustain that?
Well, we got to do it. And, when this whole thing started, it's like, we have to do something. What are we going to do? And, we see what all of our friends are doing. And there's lots of, you scroll through your Facebook and you can see so many people singing and dancing. And it's like, what else is there? And so we created the Let's Learn stuff with Victoria Sauté.
Based on distance learning, because we felt like, if kids are going to have to learn something, like, well, let's learn it from a drag queen who's crazy, silly.
No, but there's like a learning aspect to that show. There's a fun aspect. It's something, everything that we do, we want it to be so that mom and dad and the kids, the family, can all have a moment to enjoy it. There's something for them all. So we felt that might be the thing. And, it's been great. It's been getting between 500 to 1,000 views. And, for our little company, that's great.
Yeah.
We were really excited. Ann Nyberg from Channel 8 news anchor there, she started watching it and has been great in sharing that series. So we're excited about that, and it keeps us working. Like, we need to come up with. We do 2 shows like this. We do 2 shows a week.
How are we doing it together?
We're getting the pictures and putting it. It's a lot. Like this broadcast tonight is a lot. I totally get it. So that's been
crazy.
That also our podcasts, which we sort of softly launched in the fall.
Before all this,
before all of this, we sort of announced that we're doing a podcast, and we were so busy with our season that we really didn't have time to really promote that. We were like, we wanted people in the seats in the theater. So now this is like, we have something. We have our shows with the voices of our cast, our longtime cast members. And since this whole social distancing moment, our podcast, Pantochino Podcast, is in the top 125 of all family broadcasts in the country.
Oh my God!
Are you reading stories?
So
it's our shows.
We actually did. We actually went into the studio and we recorded ourselves doing 30-minute or sometimes 20-minute versions of our shows. We've written. Justin and I have written like 100 shows for our camps.
Yeah.
So we have the material. It's these sort of smaller shows, and
we're fortunate because I posted a few maybe last week. I laughed because I looked around. We have a 1940s Cape, which has a living room, dining room, a kitchen. We have 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, a basement, and then the garage was converted into my costume shop about 10 years ago. And I laughed because since COVID-19 hit us, we were in Florida when it hit hard in Connecticut. We were in Disney of all places, and we were traveling.
Jimmy, should we be here?
Yeah, people were saying we should probably get home.
Go on this
right? We should probably get home.
Stay there.
We came home, and the world was different. And I laughed because Justin's up in his bedroom composing music. Bert's in the living room writing whatever next we're doing. I'm in my shop trying to make masks for whoever needs them and whatever else we need to do. And for my teaching job, I teach costume design and sewing, so I make videos for up in Hartford. But it's funny how I think for all of us, I laugh when you say center stage couch. It's like that's where we all come now to kind of be 1, normal, and 2, where everything happens.
Yeah.
Everything happens there. That's why I put the party lights up in our living room. I'm like, this is like the night the 3 of us come down here just at 7 o'clock, 7:30. We all kind of like, okay.
What did you do today?
Yeah. So we're fortunate enough to have that aspect, but I feel everybody's houses have now become recording studios, and like Bert and I said, and I know everybody on this panel will agree, is we're theater makers, not filmmakers.
Yeah.
So it's such a different aspect to our lives now that we're expected to produce film for what we're doing next. If you saw what Bert does in our dining room with this glittery backdrop for Let's Learn stuff, it's like, well, Jesus, we have our a live station in our living our dining room now. It's there it is. Yeah.
She's so pretty, isn't she?
Yes.
But that's my Monday and my Friday. I'm there like teasing up a wig, making whatever he's wearing from the waist up. That if you saw pictures, we always laugh. If you saw pictures from from
the
our
side.
view, from the side, Bert's in like his slippers, a pair of sweatpants, and like
And the glittery top.
sequins and jewels from the waist up, and the
That's wonderful. I'm really sensing that creative juices are like bouncing off the three of you, and it seems like it might keep you going.
Yeah,
totally.
I mean, what's our next? We came up just the other night. We came up with another idea.
Yeah, we sort of announced it today. We're going to do a program called Pantochino Curbside, where we're gonna take appointments, and we're gonna come to your front yard. Justin, Jimmy, and I are gonna do an original short musical, so that'll be. We just announced Pantochino Curbside. All the details are coming. We'll probably start that early in June.
The nice thing is that we're extremely fortunate that the three of us are quarantined together.
Yeah,
and,
so we can perform together.
We can perform together. We don't, it's so funny. Out of all three of us, like we're such social people, and it's like the past 6 weeks, it's like, oh, should we go to the grocery store?
No,
no, let's not go. So it's kind of like an odd change of events for all of us. I mean, I think everybody's feeling the same way.
Yeah.
So we can follow your podcast. Tell us a little bit about if we want to watch you tonight.
Tonight is our company meeting. So I meet with our core actors every Friday night around 7:30. Board director members. We just to say, like, what happened this week, what we're working on, what's coming up.
And do exactly this, what we're doing right now. We just talk to each other. How's your family? How's everybody doing? It's just a check-in for all of us. Yeah, it's great to see everybody.
Everyone's like dotted around the area. So
it's a mental check-in. Like, we're very fortunate that all of our performers who have been with us, including two very dear friends, Mary and Shelley, who are they're our family. They followed us from a past life to our new life. It's nice to see them, and it's weird that we're not with them. So we choose every Friday, and a lot of them do have children like yourself, who they're like distance learning Monday through Friday. So at 7:30, they're like, get the hell away from me.
I think they're watching last Friday. At the end of last Friday's meeting, I said, so next Friday we're going to be at the Fairfield Center Stage. And like, wait, do you mean we're not doing our Zoom? Like, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it after.
But, the big takeaway, I think, for all of us right now is, especially for you and other theaters, is, we're being able to continue on with our camp programs.
Yep.
That's huge.
It's huge for us. We, our good friend Paige Miglio, who is our champion at the MAC, she had a meeting with the mayor and the health.
Yeah, the Department of Health.
The Department of Health today, and the woman was like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are so overly prepared. This is great." So, if anybody needs help with that, reach out to us. We're welcome to give our experience now with that, and trying to get registered again is,
Where will your camp take place this year?
So as of right now, it looks like we will still be at the MAC, and we have
new space, right?
That's where our new space is the Milford Post Mall.
So we haven't been able to get into our rehearsal space, which is in the mall, until they reopen.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully.
Have you performed there yet or no?
In the mall? So the mall is only going to be used for rehearsal. It's a studio space, rehearsal. We have all of our set, costume, props, all lives there.
Incredible.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Everyone at the Connecticut Post Mall has been so welcoming, and we were really, starting to feel at home there when all this, sort of started. So, but
for people watching out there, if you have kids in the Milford area, please check out our friends at Pantochino Productions. If they don't have kids, how can people best support?
So on our website at pantochino.com, you'll see the support tab, and you can scroll down. There's a PayPal button there, and we're all, as you all know, we're always looking for support in what we do.
And for actors as well.
Oh yeah, for actors, job opportunities are listed there. Everything you want to know about us is there. On our Facebook page is always something fun to see.
Can we see some pictures of some of your productions?
Yeah. So there's the Waffle House 5, which was our spring show a year ago right now. That was based on a true story about a winning lottery ticket at a Waffle House down south.
I bet that feels like a long time ago now.
Oh my gosh. So we opened our season with The Wicked Witch of the West, Kansas or Bust.
That's Shelley Marsh.
Yeah, that's Shelley. That's one of our plays that was published and licensed, and it's actually performed quite often around the country.
Yeah.
The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus.
That's our other sister, Mary
love this
Mannix
show.
There, we love her.
Yeah.
She's,
a lot of young actors who you work with in Fairfield were in this play when they were but we children.
And Carol Frawley, who will come up later. A lot of her kids were in this too.
Yeah, Carol Short. Yeah.
Costumes are beautiful too.
Thank you. You guys saw Beatbug. We were really excited to get to have the world premiere of that musical.
So cool.
Yeah, we loved it. We saw it. We loved it.
This is Nani Samino's Kitchen, which is literally based on my grandmother, Nani Samino, and some events that may or may not have taken place in the early 1970s.
But this is an example, really quickly, and not before we get to Gingerbreads, which is amazing. It was a fun show, but Nani Samino's was a great example of adaptation to what's going on. We would always do a children's show in the spring. Mm-hmm. And Bert and I recognized people just weren't coming to our children's shows in the spring because of sports, other activities. Okay. And so Bert said, hey, how about we do something that's more like real family oriented, that maybe if you don't have kids, you can come to. And he hit upon this idea of this Nani Samino's one day. Honestly, if you see us drinking, most of our good ideas do come when we're drinking. But anyway, he came up on this idea of this Nani Samino's Kitchen, and we said, okay, let's try it. And it just the idea of Nani and the Italian culture who have Nanis. I had grandmas, but Italian culture had Nanis. It was such a huge success based on that. And, families brought entire families, not just we're talking like grandmas to little children to see it. But that was a good example of adaptation of a time when financially we were like, what are we going to do? We're not really selling this time. So I feel it like everybody now, including yourself and everybody on this thing, we're all looking for what's the next thing that's going to bring in.
How to adapt and survive and thrive.
Exactly. But yeah, we love that show. And this is
our Christmas show this past year, The Gingerbreads of Broadway.
Beautiful costume.
The fun thing is that's Mary Mannix, and the little boy there is her son in real life. So we do a lot of family things within our family. Mary has been with us forever and is honestly a sister to us. So it's interesting to always have that. I know Christy Novin, who we share friendships with, who I adore. I'm so if you're watching Christy, I want you to come to our house the minute this is over. And cook.
I can't.
Girl, we're like dying.
See what she made today?
Oh,
listen, I text her every day. I'm like, you need to stop. You need to say, okay, Ainsley, it's not about you anymore. It's about mommy. And I'm going to cook for everybody. And that's what it's going to be. I'm telling you. But we're really fortunate, all of us. I think all of us, even Lou, I mean, we share people with MTC. We share people with everybody. Carol, we've known Carol forever. I mean, her son did shows with us when he was
he did shows with Lou years ago.
Yeah. So it's really interesting, this group of people.
Kevin forever.
So we always say, for us, if we have something you need, you reach out to us, we have it. And at some point, maybe we'll reach out to you and you have it. Lou gave us a door the very first time we did Wicked Witch of the West, Kansas or Bus. He gave us
it's all about working together. And, you guys for bringing us all together tonight. It's just wonderful. Yeah, it's great to be included and to be a part of the community. And
well, as strange as this format is, it's been such a delight to talk to you guys. And I know we have a double date in our future, an actual double date in our future.
Looking forward to it.
So we will encourage people to visit your website. For summer camp, will it be an original show, an existing?
It's 4 1-week sessions, and it's an original musical each week.
Oh, awesome.
Excellent. We'll be on the lookout for that.
Yes. Yeah. Let's say goodbye to you with a video of
Victoria. Okay.
If you're stuck inside and you need some fun, she's the grande dame of getting it done. With Victoria Sante.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right, and with that, let's bring on Carol Frawley of Fairfield Teen Theatre.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Carol.
Thanks for having me. This is very, very wonderful that you're doing this for all of us. We really needed this, for sure.
Thank you.
Well, it really is one degree of separation, this whole community, the schools with the community theaters, the nonprofit theaters in the area. It's just like this funneling system.
Yeah.
And we're so glad you're here with us because you also are, you're teaching full time and you're gearing up towards adapting and taking a look at what your summer is going to look like for Fairfield Teen Theatre. For people who aren't aware, Fairfield Teen Theatre is run through the Park and Recs department of Fairfield, and it's celebrating this summer will be its,
I want to say 45th.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
And certainly it will be a memorable one.
Yeah.
As you prepare for that, what are some of the challenges and as you look, there's three age programs, correct?
Yep. We have our preteen players that are planning to do Peter Pan Jr. Magic Box, so preteeners are from 9 to 12 years old. And then the other programs are both 13 to 19. However, the Magic Box program tends to gravitate with some of the younger kids because it's a shorter program, 4 weeks, and it's the afternoon rehearsal schedule. And some of the kids, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, prefer that. And they're planning to do Curtain Young at Park. And main stage is planning to do School of Rock. And so, super fun. Actually, Connor came up with that nugget. And so he's been kind of a great inspiration this summer has approached. So those are our plans at this point. We're had planned on having auditions at the end of this month,
Right.
but with school buildings closed, we may not have access. We will not have access to those buildings. So I have yet to talk to directors about if we're going to push them off a little bit, if we're going to just hold them virtually. We're at the point of now trying to again see what's next in the planning phase, even though technically the camp can't go on. Part of what we have to find out is from the Board of Education if they're going to allow any summer rentals for their building.
Right.
That right now is our next wait and see piece, because if they allow us to have buildings and the rec department is okay with our gatherings, we will definitely have to adapt any performances that we do. I'm not sure we'll be able to have a large crowd in any of the buildings. So we'll again try to be filming, try to make our tech week a filming week. If at all possible, I would love to even do that kind of showing the old school style in a drive-in movie kind of theme where every family can pull in their cars in the parking lot of say Fairfield Ludlow High School, and we can get a big projector and project our show. But again, that's with a whole lot of other dominoes falling into place. So right now we're hoping that when the school board meets or Board of Ed meets, I think it's on the 12th, this coming Tuesday, perhaps we'll have an answer on the building access.
It must be encouraging for you to be at least sort of in the heart of the communication, being a full-time teacher at Fairfield Woods.
Yeah, that definitely helps. It helps to know I've been in the building, so I know, the custodians are taking immaculate care. In fact, they just posted a tour for the incoming sixth graders, and they've already started their summer cleaning where all the, the rooms are being emptied out, and they literally, sanitize the floors and re-wax the floors. So the buildings are, at least my building, Fairfield Woods, where two of our programs have happened. It's getting, thoroughly, completely, beautifully cleaned. So I know that the buildings are in the process of already getting all spruced up.
Good. And, in that auditorium, which I've worked for many years, it's a beautiful auditorium. And I would think it might be encouraging that it's a larger auditorium of some of the ones in town. So as we start to implement things like social distancing within a theater, how have you thought about that? I think it's about 400 seats or 450?
It's actually 600.
Wow.
150 seats in that back corner that we usually cordon off for sound. But I I don't know the situation is whether we'll have any gatherings at all by the rec department. But if were to be the case, my thought would be not have assigned seats at all, to have everything be open seating so that a family could sit together and then, would have to distance themselves. We never really get close to selling out. I mean, a 200 audience is our biggest audience for us.
Yeah.
So people could spread out amongst that 600. And then at Fairfield High School, where preteen has been held, same thing. I mean, they are another like 500, maybe 550. And again, we can have lots of distance in the audience if we're able to have audiences, which again is still is very much up for discussion and decision. So it won't really be my decision. It will be the Board of Ed.
I see those wheels are turning, and I would say they're very lucky to have you at the helm with your wisdom, being able to adapt for whatever comes your way. I know you are also, you work on the school show there at Woods. Additionally, you teach multiple choirs. Can you talk a little bit about your teaching workload and what this spring has looked like as we near the end of the year?
Yeah. Well, we did have as all the school musicals got kind of stopped in the middle. Our Mary Poppins, we were able to hand out T-shirts. That was a big coup on the weekend of our performances. We did a little a talent show, virtual talent show on a thing called Flipgrid, which is the tool that we're using. And so people did numbers, and I told kids to have it for opening night, April 3rd, so we could watch it at home, and that was kind of fun. And then that Saturday, we were able to get in the building. Our T-shirts had arrived, and so the principal okayed it for me to put T-shirts out on the porch in the front of the school, and the kids came up and they were able to just go and grab their size. And then one of the kids was amazing, an 8th grader, coordinated a little flash mob so that the supercalifragilistic number that we had been pretty much finished, they stayed in the horseshoe pickup area and they distanced themselves, and he got this giant speaker out and played it so that everybody could kind of sing supercalifragilistic, which was adorable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's adorable. So that was heartwarming, but again, very bittersweet because especially for those 8th graders, that's going to be a tough thing. But I am telling them that, again, if they're not involved with their high school show next year, and whenever we are able to take Mary Poppins up again, that they're welcome to come back and reprise their role, so that they don't get cheated from that. Because again, this was a production that had some really wonderful things that should still happen at some point. So kids will probably go on to bigger, better things at their high schools, but I just want them to know that they'll be able to come back if they so choose. And yeah, we've been doing a lot of backing off on some of the singing performances because our concerts have been canceled. But I have started to do some Google Meet rehearsals with my chamber choir, and hoping to maybe get one song that we can kind of put together somehow, and the 8th graders to put together a rendition of the national anthem for their virtual 8th grade graduation. So that's me on a big learning curve, trying to figure out how to play something and talk to them and have the piano. So part of it is it puts us all in the same boat, in that it's like I'll have kids saying, okay, so if I told you that wrong, what did I say? So I think it's been interesting to have us all be on the same tech kind of journey, and that the kids can help us adults, at least me in particular, to get our act together, and so it's all one effort.
She cut out a little bit.
I think she's back. You cut out for a second.
All right.
Well, let's see some pictures from some past productions of Fairfield Teen Theatre. Some of these I'm sure Eli was involved with too. So that was last year, right?
That was main stage last year, correct?
Hairspray.
Yes.
Yep. And then we did Frozen Junior with preteen at Fairfield High School. And that's our annual T-shirt display of all the shows that have come and gone.
So if we stay on schedule calendar-wise, what are the dates of the program this year?
We're planning on starting main stage Magic Box June 22nd, if everything works. And preteen is June 29th, the beginning. And then Magic Box will perform in the middle of July 15th, 16th, 17th. Preteen will be the weekend after that. And then main stage has the first 2 weekends of August, if all goes well as planned.
And it says like and follow Fairfield Teen Theatre on Facebook and Instagram. Is that the best way to get all the updates about audition dates and protocols, and if there are any changes to the performance dates?
Yes, at this point, that is where the best and the quickest information is. We do have a website that's part of the Fairfield Recreation Department, but again, I'm not at the helm of that, so stuff may not get updated right away. So yeah,
it might be a little overwhelmed right now.
In a bit, yeah.
It really is a beautiful program that you've built, and a way for young performers to really connect with one another outside of the academic setting, and creating really incredible shows. And you encapsulate ages from, is it age 8 is the youngest?
9 right now for preteen.
9 through 19, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And some kids, I think a small number of them go all the way through.
Yep.
And then become choreographers.
Right.
And directors.
Right.
With Eric Rugen.
Exactly.
Right.
And the other beauty piece is it brings all the schools together. So the private schools, the public schools, you know what I mean? And it's a wonderful melding of all of that. And we've had kids say, yeah, it's great to not be in the same little theater hub, even though that's nice at times, but at times you know, to mix up a bit. So that's probably been one of the most amazing things is that people come out with and they expand their friends. Thing that I look forward to seeing and watching develop every summer.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, Carol. We hope that everything goes swimmingly for Fairfield Teen Theatre this summer, and we will be there to support you as always.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys are the best.
And hope to see you in some sort of gazebo or beach outdoors this summer. We usually do promotions outdoors. Maybe they'll let us do something like that.
That would be lovely. Can't wait.
And send our love to Connor. Carol's son Connor went through the program. I directed him a couple times. He's an incredible musician. Mm-hmm. And is he in Boston?
Yes, he's coming home for Mother's Day. Thank goodness tomorrow.
Oh,
good boy.
I did not let him go when I finally get my arms around him. But yes, he is up in Boston.
Good. Well, happy Mother's Day to you.
Yes, happy Mother's Day.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. Bye, Carol. And now let's welcome Kevin Connors from Music Theater of Connecticut. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Welcome, Kevin.
Good.
On the in Westport, on the Westport Norwalk line. From his wonderful office there. We're so grateful that you joined us because we know that you're super busy right now behind the scenes. Even though we're not producing publicly, you have a lot to do as the co-founder there. And additionally, you run a live show similar to this, or maybe a little different, but for your audience members there.
Exactly. Yeah, we do a thing every Wednesday at noon called MTC Live, and we promote on there. We talk about not only our programming, but also some alumni from the main stage here. 2 weeks ago, we had Logan Hart, who is in the Broadway company of Jagged Little Pill. He was our Gabe when we did Next to Normal, and so we brought him back for an interview and talked to him a little bit, which was really exciting and really fun. And hearing kind of what's going on with all our old compatriots in the Broadway community and how they're faring during this time. And it's really an interesting time. But as everybody has said, we're really all in it together, on all levels. So I'm here. I was here at about 7:30 this morning. So it's a lot. We're doing a lot of virtual stuff right now. So all of a sudden we've completely sort of switched mediums to be able to keep as many of the events that we had planned going as we can. And people are being really receptive to it. It's really exciting, really great.
Well, your education program is also huge. Has that been continuing remotely as well?
It has. All of our teachers have been teaching classes remotely as well. And we just had our pull back together rehearsal last night for our student production of The Wizard of Oz, which is also going to be virtual. Our production manager, RJ Romeo, is amazing. And we're creating this entire thing with our creative team. That's almost like a Zoom musical. It's really, really cool. And rather than just taking a musical that was made for the stage and trying to convert it, we're really building the musical for the medium. So it's really cool. It's really exciting. So yeah, so that happens in the middle of June. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I know that you've had a couple productions affected. One of them you and I were going to finally be able to work on together, the Buddy Holly story that was going to end your current season.
Correct.
Just as you've announced your next season.
Right.
What are some of those challenges that you've been facing during this time?
Well, this is the next season that's coming up. After a lot of discussion with our board and actors and other executive directors, we decided that we were not going to do anything live this summer because we just feel like it's going to take people a little while to kind of come back and get used to going out again and that kind of thing. So like so many of the regional houses in Connecticut, and there are 14 of us, 14 equity houses in the state. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's a lot, especially for a state this tiny. You know, it's great.
He named them all.
Yeah. Anyway, most of us are planning on launching in September. So, you know, we're hoping for the best. We're opening with Ghost the musical in September, which will be followed by Tenderly, the Rosemary Clooney story. Then bringing back our production of It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play, which has been hugely popular. It'd be like the 4th time we've done it. Then the Irish Reps production from New York of The Irish and How They Got That Way, and then closing with Lend Me a Tenor in the spring. So we're really excited about that. Interestingly enough, subscriptions are still selling even during this time. I think people are really looking forward to getting out. I mean, there's a real theater going audience, as you guys know, as well as anybody in this county, and I think people are missing it and they're hungry for it. And I think they're going to come back. So we just have to figure out how we're going to do it. But, we're all, it's kind of what we do. So, yeah, as we do. So we'll all figure that out for the summer. And in the meantime, we have summer programming going for our kids too. We have our 1-week summer workshops, which are coming up.
What ages for that?
So for most of them, for 3 of the 4, they start at age 7 and go up through age 12. And then the 4th one is a little bit older. The 4th one is 4th grade to 8th grade. So we are doing mini musicals for those, which is like a 40-minute version of Hamilton or a 40-minute version of Cinderella, which is really fun and really exciting. And the kids are really thrilled about it. And I think they're just looking forward to coming back and kind of being together and that kind of thing. So in a safe distancing way.
I know you have a small staff there. What has been some of the impact about there on campus there on the Post Road?
Well, we've kept our full-time staff on here, which is Jim, myself, RJ, who's the production manager, and our office sort of guy everything, Alex.
Yep.
So we've had to do that because we're still producing the programming that we had planned to produce, all the way through the summer. So we've kept them on. Our resident costume designer is back in to design the costumes for Wizard. Starting in July, we start having pre-production meetings for Ghost. I mean, it's interesting because I think a lot of people would assume that, well, you're closed, so what are you doing? I'm working a lot more hours and a lot harder now than I would be if we were running a regular schedule. So A lot of it, the virtual stuff for some of us is a learning curve. And it's just a whole different way of creating and a whole different medium to work in. And it's really exciting once you decide that you're going to create for that medium and not just try to transfer a stage production, sort of intact into it. So it's really kind of fun. We have a big fundraiser coming up as well in 2 weeks. It's a fundraiser that we always do, have done for years, called The Voice. It's usually called the MTC Voice, and usually it's live. But this year it is virtual as well, online. So it's kind of a hybrid of Dancing with the Stars and The Voice, like the TV programs. So we get contestants, amateur contestants, and match them up with Broadway coaches who coach them on material. And this year, then they make their own music video, and they'll submit the music video, and then people call in and vote and that kind of thing. They get sponsors, and it's a really successful event for us and really, really fun. So
that sounds like perfectly suited to happen virtually.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's really going to be cool. And we have a big kickoff there's a kids version and an adult version, and the kids version is on May 21st and the adult version is on May 22nd. And each one of the videos will have a premiere time so that everybody's friends can tune in right at the time that they're going to be premiering their video, and I'm going to be talking to them in a live stream to kind of intro their video and talk about their journey on the video, and it's really an exciting and fun thing. So, and a great way to raise money.
I would say that the recurring theme tonight in talking to all of you is adaptability, and the fact that I would say our number one tool as artists is our imagination, and that's with us here at home. And to see interesting content that like makes me want to tune in as a guy who loves to go to the theater. I love to be with other people in the theater. Like that actually sounds fun. And to talk to Bert and Jimmy about what they're doing virtually, and Carol, and all these creative ideas on how to adapt and do what we do as storytellers in this environment. I'd say kudos to you, and I think that's a testament to the family and organization you built there, and your supporters, and the years of experience you have. So I really admire that, and I wish you all the best this summer and beyond. And I know that you and I will eventually work together in the flesh.
We will.
And let's see some pictures from your recent productions too.
Yeah, we first of all, about Buddy, which Eli and I were going to work on together, we've rescheduled that for a year from this summer. I didn't want to invade next season because subscriptions were already sold and all of that kind of thing. But as Eli will tell you, the cast is just magic, and they're just amazing. And I don't know whether we'll be able to hold all of them together. I certainly hope that we will. But we had to close down the production right in the middle of the rehearsal period. So I'm still in touch with all of them, and they're going to be coming back, and they are going to be raring to go when the time comes. So
great.
Hopefully at the end of next year's season 34 for us. So
wow, you also have a robust, healthy concert and cabaret series. I would imagine that will be on your mind.
That is on my mind. I'm going to wait and see what happens. Probably in June to see what happens. Normally that happens late July into August, and we bring up fabulous cabaret people from the city. Last year we had Natalie Douglas and Jeff Harner, and Mark Nadler and Reyesa Katona Bennett, and really, really great cabaret stars for one night events here. And we love doing it, and it's a great venue for that. So, we're hoping that maybe we can ease people back into live entertainment, during that particular period of time. So we'll be ready to pop right out of the box in September with the main stage stuff. Yeah.
You see me disappearing.
I do. I know. It's great.
Let's take a look at a few
Adam
pictures.
Young.
Brian, you there? You have some pictures for us of MTC? We have them somewhere. We can come back to them if not.
That's okay. That's okay.
In the meantime, enjoy the coos of the baby.
I will.
All right, we're having some tech glitches behind the scenes. If you can hang out, we'll see if we can get them and bring you back on at the end. And we're so grateful that you're here with us tonight.
Yeah,
And,
I'm happy to be here. Thank you guys for doing this. It's really special. And you know, one thing I think we're all missing is community. So you know, anytime we can grab that, you know, I'm there. So thanks.
Send our best to Jim. And if people want to find out about you and your summer camps coming up right around the corner, we should visit.
Yeah, musictheaterofct.com. You'll find out information there on the homepage about the summer programming and next season and The Voice too, that we want you to tune into.
Beautiful.
So yeah, good.
Thanks again, and give Jim and
okay.
Bye soon.
Thank you, Kevin.
I will. Thanks, you guys.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
I mean, it's really incredible if you think about the areas covered from the guests tonight: Milford, Fairfield, Westport, Norwalk, and now Stamford, as we come up to Lou, our friend Lou. That's an amazing amount of young performers from age 8 through high school and college and beyond.
Well, we start at age 5 for our camps.
Right. It launches.
I think you do too, right, Lou?
Yep, we do. Yep.
And, you know, whether it launches professional careers, and in some cases it does, or not, it really has, in my opinion, a profound effect on the young people in this area. Hi, Lou.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having us.
Lou's at home. I usually see Lou in the office.
I know.
He loves to work. And I was chatting with him the other day, and you do find time to get into the office when you can, usually in the evening?
Yeah, I pretty much work remotely all day here, and just go back to the office to check the mail, sign letters, and keep basic correspondence going. But because we don't have any real production work going on, it's just as easy for me to work completely remotely. I've been joking that I made the promise to our patrons that I would send out a daily email while we were dark with a 45 to 60-second video clip, never really thinking I'd be at it this long. But, I have my editing suite, as I call it, is 2 snack trays and a laptop sitting in the family room, and an old TV, a very old TV in the living room with a machine that takes VHS tape and converts it to DVD that I then put in the laptop, and it's crazy, but it keeps me busy.
Yeah.
For those watching who might not be familiar, Lou is the leader of probably, I would say, the busiest community theater in the county, if not the state.
I joked earlier that it's like, oh, he produces more than all of us, but I think that's accurate.
Combined. Yeah. All of us combined.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So we had a spring production of Kinky Boots as well as Shakespeare. What else has been affected with not only the spring, but also what you face coming up in the summer and beyond with the new season announced?
We actually went dark in the middle of our run of Beyond Therapy. We had 1 weekend in, but we went dark when everything else went dark.
It's such a brilliant play, so that's such a bummer.
Yeah, and we really, the cast had just started, really settling in with 1 weekend,
Right.
But we went dark there. On deck was Nonsense, which would have opened April 2nd. Crossing the Lancey would have opened this past weekend. And Kinky Boots was ready to go in June. Plus, we had a concert night with Frank Mastrone, a concert night with Michael Josevich, another murder mystery night, and a weekend of comedy improv stuff. So we had a whole bunch of stuff on deck that went dark. The one thing that
would be the equivalent of our season. I mean, you have such a machine there, always producing. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I think the one thing we got lucky with is that our winter session of classes and educational workshop programming had just ended. So we were able to wrap that up. So our spring session went dormant until we figured out how to do this online thing like everybody else.
Yeah.
So
I know you've been juggling your staff as well, trying to keep them engaged and included on the payroll. Has there been other silver linings? I know probably not too many, but have there been a few?
When I find it, I'll let you know. Honestly, the comments, the emails, and phone calls that I've been getting from patrons in support of what I've been sending daily, or just in general support of missing us and how much we mean to them, has made all the difference in the world. I mean, that's you're in the audience with your patrons. You know, when audience members talk to you, it's great to have that connection, and you know how much they appreciate what you're doing because they're there. But when they take the time now, when they're not in the audience and they're not seeing us, when they take the time to write to you and say, thanks for the daily treat, it really brightens my day, or thanks for the memory. Oh, it was so great seeing so-and-so who, sadly passed away so many years ago, but it was great seeing them again doing what they used to do. So that is, kind of a bright side. And
that keeps you going.
Yeah, I mean, it's been exciting, like everybody else has said, to think about, okay, how do we do what we need to do for the next several months? So, the irony is, when the theater program landed at Sterling Farms in 1972, the first performances were done outside because the old barn was being readied, for Mickey and Judy to do their play.
Do they do platforms?
Stanford has a band trailer, one of those things that the sides pop up and everything. I think like you used, didn't you, Eli?
Yeah.
So the first shows were done on the band trailer, and we're looking at, we've done Shakespeare out on the lawn since 2004. So we made the decision not to do a full Shakespeare production this summer for a lot of reasons, because we would have already been in rehearsal. We didn't know what was happening. But we're very likely going to be building at least the deck, the main platform, and doing some Shakespeare scenes and monologues, doing musical events. We may have Frank Mastrone and the gang out on the lawn. So we're looking at all those options. We're looking at our summer youth programming, the daytime programming outside, if we are allowed to. Stanford being a hot spot, has some different considerations as far as the reopening timing and what protocols are going to be in place for us. So we're a little bit behind the curve on what we're going to be able to do for our workshop programming.
So registration is not open for that yet?
We're planning virtual programming for the summer program right now.
And that's led by Brian?
Yes, yeah. Brian and I have been talking and all the time. Brian has been working with all of his teaching artists over the last few weeks, getting that set up. We are going to have a late spring session of our regular workshops, which would have been started a couple of weeks ago. So that's going to launch. That's on the website now. We start May 18th. So there's some acting, there's some dance, there's some music. Little bit. That'll be our first major foray into the online education program.
Yeah, good. So this week we all received some initial guidelines from the state regarding resuming performance operations. I would love to get your take on it as one of the leaders in our industry. Which our industry, but by the way, less people didn't know, is really, they say it's like among the worst, if not the worst hit industry, live performance and live events, whether it be museums or concerts, theater. And it's really tough. Lou and I had a very emotional discussion on the phone the other day, talking about, that at our core, this is what we love to do, is do these events that bring people together, and to sort of have a hindrance, a buffer, blocking that impulse and blocking the logistics to be able to do that. It's been really tough for me. I know it has for you. What is your impression of these guidelines that they're rolling out? If you want to talk about a few of them, some of the basics.
It's really going to be challenging for everybody. I was joking a few weeks ago that I said, the theater and performing arts venues are going to be the next to last opening up again before the cruise lines. But since Carnival already announced they're planning on an August launch, I think they may be out there before we are. I I think they're crazy. But you know, the guidelines are just that. That's the problem. They're suggestions, they're guidelines. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is definite based on information coming from the governor's office directly. You know, I sent all of our local, state, and federal legislators a bulleted list of about 20 things that I thought needed to be addressed as the arts industry, because we do have very different needs. So I think if we're restricted by a general capacity number in one place, that's going to be an issue. If we're restricted by the square footage regulations that are noted in the guidelines, that's a different story. The whole idea of masks and patrons wearing masks, performers wearing masks, cleaning protocols. I mean, I was joking with someone the other day. The theater industry may not exactly be the most high-tech industry, but we're really high touch. Actors touch all the time, you know, and we're touching scenery, we're touching props, we're touching costumes, we're touching each other. So there's a lot to be dealt with still that those protocols don't really, and guidelines don't address. So I'm not sure where we can make a decision yet, or how we can make a decision yet, until we get at least till this May 20th kind of date that we've been looking at for a while. Yeah.
Speaking of May 20th, it's usually around the time where you present your annual, the largest fundraiser of your season, the incredible Dancing with the Stars event, which is typically held downtown at the Palace Theater every year, and it's your top fundraiser of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but back in February, when you kind of saw the winds shift a little bit, you decided to postpone. Can you talk a little bit about Dancing with the Stars and what the plans are for that?
Yeah, right now, you know, again, as soon as all this started, it looked like it was going to be an ugly time for everybody. So we made the decision to move the event to mid-late September. We actually moved it to September 19th. So we're on the books right now to be at the Palace for September 19th. We have all 12 of our volunteer dancers and their professional dance partners. They'd started rehearsing, but obviously suspended rehearsals for a while. But they're partnered, they're ready to roll. You know, how this affects our restaurant partners, and we've, you know, on a regular basis had 25 to 30 restaurant and catering partners at the event, at the cocktail party at UConn, which has been phenomenal. I mean, the food has been just incredible.
Yes, I concur.
So that's going to be a challenge for many of those restaurants. We've talked to so many of them that are dark and have been able to. Some have been able to do the takeout. Some of them have not. We'll see what the protocols are going to be and how many of them are going to be in a position to help us. We just don't know. But the event is scheduled, and we're hopeful.
Good. You know, it's so interesting. Back in January, I was interviewed, and they asked me about my work in theater, and what I think what I most liked about it. And I said what I was most drawn to is the fact that I feel like people have a primal and innate need and want to congregate, right? So there's this pull to want to come together. Like, I wish I could go give you a big hug right now, but I can't. So assuming that's a primal urge that's not going to go away, perhaps it's about learning how to adapt. I like what you're talking about, potentially exploring the idea of some outdoor stuff, right? If people psychologically need a barrier, a buffer in between them and the next family, what's a way we can do that? Well, we're not going to be able to do it in the little small bar that we've been performing, but we might be able to do it outside. Is that where some of your creative juices have been going?
Yeah, you know, our annual summer youth theater production would have been Big the musical. That was our schedule for August.
Cool.
Again, not knowing where things are going to be and capacity restrictions, etc. We made the decision to not do that show because it would be the 30th anniversary of that particular program. Brian and I and the creative team for that show have decided we're going to do a 30-year retrospective and do musical numbers from those shows that we've already done.
Great.
Which can be done with solos, duets, small group numbers, so that we can keep capacity, not too many actors on the stage at one time. We'll do it virtually if we have to.
Yep.
But we'll plan on doing that on the outdoor stage, and we'll see. It'll be something very different for the kids. By copyright regulations, you can't do a number from Annie and have a little girl in a red dress and wig. You can get up and sing a song, but you can't present it in the style of the show in which it's from, which is something that that's part of the copyright law, and we try to stay in step with the regulations. So it's going to be.
You won't be able to bust out your costume and wig for that. Then you're just going to sing it.
Nope, I have it, and I'll show you the picture. You may have seen it, but there's a picture of me and Kristen Anderson Lopez of Frozen fame. Yeah. And two other friends in a musical review where we actually were all in the red dress and wig.
Amazing. As we wrap up our evening, as people want to support you, what's the best way they can do that? Are your subscribers hanging in there? Was a related question.
Our subscribers have been great. Most of them have said, hold our tickets till next year. Many of them said, just take the value of those tickets and use it as a contribution. So we'll send a contribution receipt to them. We still have a lot of folks that we haven't been able to talk to. We've been making personal phone calls to all of them. So our box office staff has been getting through those calls very slowly. And because of the time and people being kind of alone, they've been taking 20, 25 minutes chatting with one customer. But that's okay. So doing that, we have not launched the season subscription sales like Kevin did. I wish I were that optimistic. I am, and I believe we will have a season. But until we kind of get a little better handle on it, we haven't done that. So just direct contributions on our website. There's a nice little bottle that says button. I need a bottle now. I saw the baby and I was thinking about a bottle for it.
There you go.
A donate now button.
I so much admire you. And if anybody's going to be able to navigate through this, it's going to be you and your team. And I wouldn't be sitting here without you. And I think we have a few pictures and maybe a video.
Well, yeah. And first, I had to come back in here with the baby because this was my request. And we also have a request to see that Annie pic. So send that to us at some point. That would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Here it is. But I requested that you sing this song because I saw you sing it so beautifully at another theater company. And I think it just embodies that spirit of optimism that we've been talking about all night. Yes.
Was that MTC?
No.
You played it at MTC.
Yeah, I played one of the dads at MTC and I did El Gallo at the Carriage House.
That's right. I just think it's a beautiful song of optimism and remembering a better time, an easier time. So we would love for you to sing that for us tonight.
We'll give it a shot. We'll see if the technology works. Try to remember the kind of September when life was slow and oh so mellow. Try to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when you were a tender and callow fellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Time for my dance break. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, although you know the snow will follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, without a hurt, the heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made you mellow. Deep in December, our hearts should remember and follow.
I kept singing all those follows with you.
So, luckily, here we go. I don't know. Let's see how close we can get the picture.
Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. Let me make you full screen so we see it better. Wow.
Me and Kristen in the middle, and my buddy Joe on the end, right, the other end there. That Joe is a Broadway dresser, and Jenny is another wonderful performer down the end.
Speaking of cute redheads, can Jan come say hi?
Yeah, we had a request for a Jan.
Yep. Here she comes.
Jan, we miss you.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
It's
my much better half.
And Lou and I were talking. We're like, you know, you two travel together so much, so you're used to spending that kind of intense amounts of long stretches of time together. Are you all doing okay?
Yeah,
we're fine.
Yeah, we're doing just great. You know, we're absolutely fine, safe and healthy, like we're hoping everybody else is as well.
Good. Well, we miss seeing you around the theater, and we're so grateful for everything that you've done in just being such great examples for us as we formed our little upstart company.
Well, we miss you guys and can't wait to hold that baby.
She hasn't met very many people. It was like when she was a newborn, it was a few people, and that's it. So
yeah,
she'll be auditioning for SYT, I think.
I can't wait.
I think we have some pictures and video.
Yeah.
Of some curtain call stuff. Lou, if you want to talk to us about this is of course.
Obviously, it's Newsies. My dad was a real shutterbug, and God, he was always into stuff. And I never owned a real camera. I always had point and shoot kind of stuff. Yeah. And a dear friend of mine gave me a really wonderful camera, and I just started playing with it. So getting that shot of Everton, and
yeah.
Wow.
And Kevin.
Yep. When I got that shot, I said, I'm going to quit now, because I can't imagine I'll ever land another picture that well with their feet in line. And
I know it's
yeah, that's like a season brochure for years to come, my friend.
Yeah. But it's using the camera and getting stuff with a show like that really brought me back to my dad. Any of us that have lost a parent, it's just they're always with you. So using the camera has been kind of a fun thing. I feel like he's guiding my lens more than I am.
Oh, has it been nice? You've been doing such a great job posting clips, as we talked about earlier. Yeah, here's Shakespeare, your outdoor Shakespeare.
Yep, that's the Scottish play, as we call it. That's a little bit of noise is off.
That's a great shot too.
Which is so much fun. Very funny show.
Yeah, maybe my favorite comedy.
Yeah, that's Titanic. That's the dining room of the Titanic.
And that was a cast of what, 40?
It was big. Sounds, I think, it could have been pretty close to that. That's for sure.
That's what I miss. That's what I miss is the variety, right? You might do a show like The Fantastics with a very small group, and then the next thing you got 45 people on this giant ship, and the variety we're able to present to the public and to give those artists all those opportunities is really incredible. So kudos to you, and we know you'll be back soon on it. We got more pictures.
Or the video.
Oh, we're to the video, probably.
Okay.
Great. So
That's highlights.
Lou does a great job.
Carrying the banner, always out there. Carrying the banner. Super trooper, things are gonna blind me, but I won't feel blue like I always do.
You men! You beasts! That quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins! On pain of torture, from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word by thee, old Capulet, and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave-beseeming ornaments to wield old partisans in hands as old. Cankered with peace, depart your cankered hate.
Morning glow, light your light. We can make the new day rise. And the phantoms of the night. Their fires in the sky, I never saw them weeping. I never saw them at all.
Table. Yes.
I heard Nora belting in 2 of those clips.
Yeah, I just miss seeing people
Yeah.
on a regular basis. And, you know, we're doing what we all do. We're so blessed to work with incredibly passionate, artistic, creative people. And, you know, for me, most of the times I'm just sitting back and watching and enjoying watching the directors and musical directors and choreographers do their stuff with our performers, and just having the energy of dozens of people around all the time, anytime, with, you know, 1 show in performance and 2 shows in rehearsal, and being able to bop around the property and just see so many people doing what they love. And boy, it's the most bizarre thing for me to not have that
Yeah.
regular fulfilled.
It's like an entire campus that you have, you know, of just always something happening in every area.
And you're the coach.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. So for me, at least, doing the videos is as much for me every day as it is for our audience, because it just keeps me connected to what we do.
Well, we love you, and we're glad you're hanging in there. You know, additionally, less people don't know, you're a working actor as well. So it's like a double.
You had a production in which you were starring canceled.
Yep. You know, it's just so crazy. You know, when we started rehearsal for Little Shop up at CRT, which is on the UConn campus, and we had 1 week of rehearsal, and then the world went dark. But
yeah,
you know, we're all doing it.
Additionally, one of your probably your second love besides theater is travel. And so, of course, that's impacted. Have you and Shan
We feel that.
Yep. Have you decided where's the spot you're going to go first when you will pull that trigger?
Hoboken looks pretty nice right about now.
road trip in the Eastern Seaboard.
We may go up to Maine to my sister's. The it's so funny, seeing Jimmy and Kevin and Bert and Jimmy. Bert and I worked together going back to 1982.
Wow.
And Kevin and I since '85. It's just amazing that I feel like I've known you just as long, which is bizarre. And it's truly 10 years, but I feel like we've known each other for forever. But we're all part of one huge theater family. We Bert said. I remember him calling me one time and said, we need a door. Do you have a door? I'm like, yeah, I got a door. Come and get it.
For us, with those kinds of requests all the time.
But we do it with each other. We're all here. Kevin and I have been talking a lot lately, trying to navigate the crazy waters of all these various government programs that are available. Certainly, you and I have been talking.
Yeah, all those applications and how are things going? Okay.
Yeah, we've gotten some things approved, some things are still on hold, some are one was denied, but yeah, we just keep looking out there, and I think one of the things that we need to be conscious of, and it's really for everybody who's watching. I think anybody who's watching now is obviously someone who loves one of the 5 theaters represented today, at least, if not all of us, but loves the arts. We need to be vocal with our legislators. We need to take the time to write to our state and federal legislators and let them know how important the arts are, because as an industry, as you said, we are one of the most impacted of the industries, because especially by the capacity restrictions that are going to be in place for a while. So let your local, state, and federal legislators know that we need support, and support for an industry like ours is going to need to be longer than some other industries.
I got to say, it's a testament to you again that Lou sends an email to the senator and he gets a response back, and I'm CC'd on it. It's really incredible that doesn't happen to everybody, and so it's just another reason why I admire you, and I've learned so much from you in the 10 years I've known you. We just had our 10-year anniversary and we couldn't really even celebrate. So shall we meet in London sometime?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Thank you so much for everything that you do for us, for everything that you do for this entire theater community, and for being here tonight with us.
Thanks for having us. It's great. The virtual stuff like this is pretty dang good.
Yeah.
And I know people are burned out on it, but it's like these little pepperings of just checking in with everybody. I know you have various happy hours and things that you do, because you're so connected to people, and you're such a hands-on leader as well. And that's another thing I've learned from you, is I think that's at the heart of it, is how soul. So we are all blessed to know you, sir.
Oh, wait.
Bottled water. I hope that's
right. Yeah. I ran out of vodka with my cereal this morning.
There we go. That's how you do quarantine. Well, we love you. We can't wait to see you in person.
I can't wait.
Stay well.
You too. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank you to everyone, all of our guests, for joining us tonight.
Oh, Dwayne is not burned out. Good. We'll keep him going then, Dwayne.
And for everyone for watching, we do have a special broadcast on Sunday for Mother's Day at 5 p.m. We will have some of our company mothers joining us with their kiddos. It's going to be co-hosted by my son, CJ, his hosting debut. This was Eli's hosting debut. He did a fabulous job. And then on Tuesday, and then we'll have our regular shows on Tuesday and Friday of next week at 6 p.m. So we hope that you join us for those. Alan Cat. There is not.
We miss seeing, despite what you may have heard, Alan, we do miss seeing you. And performances on Sunday, performances as well.
Yes, lots of singing happening on Sunday.
And a beautiful performance from Lou tonight. Thanks to our tech crew, our Bryans. We love you. And anything else before we go?
Wash your hands. Bye.
Oh, I've been kissing my hand all night.
Awful.